Today's practice begins, as always, with turning the focus of our attention to the feeling state of our bodies and meeting whatever we encounter with curiosity and openness. And being willing to make adjustments if we need to shift to be more comfortable or to accommodate a certain feeling. But for the most part, meeting the feelings with curiosity and willingness and openness without needing to fix or change or interpret. And expanding in 360 degrees on the inhalation and relaxing into that space on the exhalation. And today we're looking a little bit at overwhelm and stress. And so when we expand in 360 degrees and open up our hips and our back and our sides, kind of recognizing that there is a sustenance that's happening through the back of our bodies that we don't often pay a lot of attention to. There is the support of the air and of gravity and of the unseen that we can access by opening up our backs a little. And then we can relax into that as well. There are unseen supports that keep us vibrant and alive and functional. And when we open to areas we typically do not tend to, we open to other things that we typically don't tend to. So it's a nice start to have that physical experience of expansion in our hips, in the back of our body, the back of our shoulders, the back of our neck, the back of our head, and the fronts as well, but we're usually more aware of that. And with the exhalations, relaxing a little bit deeper, that physical sensation of relaxation that has a space within us to relax because we just created that expansion. And we can physically drop ourselves into it. Just for these moments, pressing pause on the things that keep us riled up and exploring the physical sensations and expanding and relaxing. Thomas Hubel says that one of my favorite things is that complexity is simplicity in the wrong-sized container. And you can kind of, what I think about is a plant that's outgrown its pot and the roots are coming out the bottom and it's a very complex weave how the roots move. But when you put it into a more spacious pot, those roots relax and expand in ways that make sense again because they're not restricted by something that's too small. So by expanding on our inhalation, we expand our personal individual container so that we can relax and let things kind of unwind and untangle with this new space we're offering to the situation. But today we're going to call in a heavy hitter as well. So as you establish the pattern of expanding and relaxing, bring to mind the embodiment of compassion for you. I'm going to use Kuan Yin because she's considered the Buddha of compassion. But it could be Jesus, it could be Mother Mary, It could be Buddha. It could be Ganesha. It could be Mother Teresa. It could be your Aunt Sally. But call to mind your version of the embodiment of compassion. And see that being walking towards you. And because they are the embodiment of compassion, they bring forth such gentleness in their countenance, in the way they look at you and receive you. And have that being come quite close and gaze into her face. And invite her into your heart. And I imagine a throne in the heart that this being kind of dissolves into and ascends that throne. So now you have compassion incarnate in your heart. You can feel the warmth and shift and power in your heart. And the first thing she does is she takes a golden lasso up into your mind and gathers all of your thought process within her golden rope. And she takes the other end of that lasso and brings it down to your perineum. So that the cord of it travels down our central channel and is now all within this lasso. And the next thing I invite you to imagine is that every cell of your body has a throne in the center in which we invite to mimic the throne in our heart. So radiating out from our heart, each cell is accepting compassion into the throne at its center until our body is full of divinity in the center of the cell, radiating infinite compassion. 12 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times, 1,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000 times, 1,000,000,000,000 times. So here we are with compassion at our core and in every cell. And now this embodiment of compassion sitting on the throne in our hearts calls to it every orphaned child of our past, every aspect of ourself that was shut down in trauma or hurt. She calls every aspect of ourself to her infinite lap And as each aspect of our inner child goes to meet her, we are welcomed with the love we've always sought, fully and vibrantly meeting and accepting us and cradling us in her infinite lap. No aspect of ourselves is turned away, and aspects we don't even know we have are meeting compassion in our hearts. And the warmth and the acceptance and the strength and the agency this being offers continues to extend the dynamic of the divine throne being filled with compassion itself in every aspect of our being, even the imaginary ones, even the tactile, physical ones. And sitting in this compassion, sitting in this majesty, sitting with this divine help for as long as we are able, so that when we return to our normal daily activity, we do so knowing that we are infused with unseen help that is very real and very available. And like you can't step into the same river twice, whatever was on your mind when you began this session, when you return to it, there's a little more space, a little more air, a little more blessing, a little more agency. And as you encounter it, remembering to relax into an expanded version of yourself that by nature has more available to it, has more resource available to meet our challenges, to meet our experiences with the fullness of our capacity, the creativity of our love, and the relationship of ourselves with the world that's mediated by this embodiment of compassion that we feel in ourselves and that we turn to ourselves as we turn it to the world as well. Thank you.